Good morning, everyone. I'm Clyde.
I'm Jam.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Danica.
I'm Richie.
I'm Prijan.
We are Group 4, and we are here to present you our research on types of programming languages.
Next. What do you mean by programming, and programmer? Program. It is a series of coded software instructions to control the operation of a computer or other machine. Common examples of programs are web browsers, system utilities, word processors, uh, and etc. Programming. This is the process of performing a particular computation, usually by designing and building an executable computer program. Programmer. Um, it is an individual that writes or creates computer software or applications by giving the computer specific programming instructions.
The First off, we're gonna talk about the brief history of programming. Next. So, in today's world, computer programming is required to keep the systems and devices we use every day operating smoothly. Programming languages enable humans to interact with machines and make them perform necessary operations. Humans and machines process information differently, and programming languages are the key to bridging the gap between people and computers. Programmable devices have existed for centuries. As early as the 9th century, a programmable music sequencer, which is the Banu Musa's flute player, that was invented by the Persian Banu Musa brothers in 1801. The Jacquard loom could produce in entirely different weaves by changing the program through a series of pasteboard cards with holes punched in them. The first computer is generally dated to 1843 when mathematician Ada Lovelace, recognized as the first computer programmer in the world, published an algorithm to calculate a sequence of Bernoulli numbers intended to be carried out by Charles Babbage's analytical engine. Lovelace was able to discern the importance of numbers, realizing that they could represent more than just numerical values of things. Lovelace wrote an algorithm for the analytical engine, the first computer program to compute Bernoulli numbers. In 1889, the Hollerith tabulating machine was invented by Hermann Hollerith, allowing for data to be programmatically counted and tabulated.
In 1940s, assembly language was first used as a type of computer programming language that was able to simplify machine code language, which is necessary for telling a computer what to do. The late 1950s saw the rise of coding languages such as Fortran, Lisp, and COBOL that are still in use today. In 1957, John Backus implemented the formula translation or Fortran, which is the oldest computer programming language. Fortran is responsible to solve mathematical, statistical, and scientific problems. While LISP, an acronym for List Processing, is a programming language that was designed for easy manipulation of data strings. Developed in 1959 by John McCarthy, it is a commonly used language used for artificial intelligence programming. It is one of the oldest programming languages still in relatively wide use. In 1983, saw the emerge of C++, which is or C++, which is still being used by the Adobe and Google Chrome. In 1989, Tim Berners-Lee invented the Internet and Device HTML markup language, which is one of the most popular and widely used programming language in the world, along with URL and HTTP as part of the invention. 1990s brought us new programming languages such as Python, Java, JavaScript, and PHP, without which we wouldn't have social media, Android, or OS apps or streaming services. And so Java and JavaScript, introduced in 1995 by James Gosling, created Java for an interactive television project. In 1955, Brennan H. developed JavaScript to help individuals creating web pages, browsers, widgets, and PDF documents.
Now we're moving on types of programming languages. The first one is machine language. It is a computer programming language consisting of binary or hexadecimal instruction which a computer can respond to directly. It is the most basic but hardest computer language because it consists on binary or hexadecimal, which we will need computations to get the exact meaning of that code. Next one, we have assembly language, low-level programming language with a very strong correspondence between the instructions in the language and the architecture's machine code instructions. Assembly language acts as it's a low level, but it acts as a bridging language for machine language and high-level language, as it converts high-level language to a low-level one for the machine to use it more effectively. Now, moving on to high-level languages. High-level programming language is a programming language with a strong abstraction from the details of the computer. It is made for humans for easy understanding and use. So it is the high-level languages is mostly used today because it's more accessible and easy to use, as I said earlier.
So, machine language. In the computer, all data like videos, programs, pictures are represented in binary. The CPU processes this machine code or binary data as input. Then, an application or operating system gets the resulting output from the CPU and display it visually. For example, the ASCII code 01000001 represents the letter A in machine language. Yet it is shown on the screen as A. Assembly language. Some professional industries still use this kind of code. For example, some financial firm and marketplace use high frequency trading or AFT platform are written in assembly language. By only having the professor translate from an assembly code, they save processing time that other firm may spend on the additional translation from a higher level code.
And for the third programming languages, we have high-level language. These three are commonly used in big companies like Google, Facebook, Netflix, Microsoft, and many more famous technology. These are the Python, C++, and JavaScript. They are prime examples of high-level languages that is most commonly used in many systems up to date. However, because a compiler or interpreter must process each one of them before the code is run, they are all regarded as high level.
So our takeaway from our presentation is even if programming dates up from 9th century, the innovation over the years are what made it makes more amusing and fascinating, as it gives us everyday new learnings and discovery. It teaches us to grow and adapt in many ways for our everyday living and makes us a better person in each passing day. Once again, I'm Clyde.
I'm Cham.
I'm Aaron.
I am Danica.
I'm Christian.
I'm Richie.
Presenters of Group 4, thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.